全ての敵を排除しろ。完了だ。テロリストを掃討しろ。
that makes everything. うん。
テロリストを掃討しろ。残り3人だ。すべての敵を排除しろ。 全ての敵を排除しろ。全ての敵を排除しろ。3人だ。敵部隊を制圧。 ロリストを掃討しろ。あと3人だ。敵部隊を制圧。こちらの勝利だ。
てってってってってってすべての敵を排除しろ。今だ。
全ての敵を排除しろ。完了だ。
キルそらしてえな。いた。何もできない。ちょっと待って。
It's been a pretty crazy day so far. We've seen two NA teams advance. We've seen BDS. Welcome, ladies and gents, back to warm, and this one is going to be bringing the heat. It's the Giants themselves. It's the Giants themselves. It's Empire, not quite literally the Giants. They come later. Empire coming up against Fnatic.
Organisation, and it's absolutely no surprises that they stick around a team like this. They've had a great roster throughout, as you say, very, very popular in their region. Dizzle, you mentioned, you know, he's been at every 6 Invitational. He's got a lot of experience here, and he's going to be imparting that to the team.
Which team needs?
State is probably just good luck, have fun.
Times, if you open up the wall as the game progresses, but the game is progressing. We head into Coastline for round number 1 of the opening fixture for Fnatic and Team Empire here at the 6th Invitational 2020. Empire, they've been building their empire recently, and I'm sure they're going to be keen to add the jewel to the crown that is the 6th Invitational. How are they going to get off on that journey?
There's so many teams that want it this time. I mean, every team wants it being realistic, but there are some teams who have almost got the perfect narrative behind it, the perfect recent history to build into it. And for Empire, like you say, last year, 2nd place. This year, got to be the victor in their own minds. But the game has changed so much in the last 12 months, the way that teams have developed, that is very much so going to be the threat. So we're starting things off anyway on Sunrise and Blue Bar. Definitely one of the sites that is in the normal rotation now. Very few teams are playing Penthouse and Theatre. Very funny the disparity you get between playing ranked, where a lot of teams or a lot of players, especially in the lower ranks, like to play on that site. In pro play, you just don't tend to see it because it is very difficult to actually sit on the site itself when you're threatened from the doorway up towards the north or the double window out towards the east. I think actually there are a couple of teams here that do it. NIP, it's always their 3rd preferred site. So if you see them play and they go to Coastline, look out for when they win 2 rounds on the defense. Chances are the next round following is going to turn out to be Penthouse and Theatre.
So 30 seconds into the round, we can see Empire just slowly building. They're not in any rush at this point. Shepard is certainly a man to watch. We've seen him dashing into sight very aggressively over the Pro League season so far and picking up kills whilst he does it. But it will be Dan that starts us off there with that first shot hitting onto Tex, and that will leave us now 5 versus 4. Dan will take a small amount of damage from below as he moves in through Hooker there. That's going to make them aware that there is a man down in Sunrise that needs to be cleared out. But already we can see here that that top floor control is starting to be gained, and it looks like it is complete. They will have, I've no doubt, we've got Dan on the flank watch over at Cool Vibes stairs. There's only 2 staircases on Coastline, so once you get that top floor control, it's very, very difficult for the defenders to move back upstairs.
It's very common as a defending side to play for what we call a vertical hold or a horizontal hold. Vertical being where you play above site, horizontal where you tend to spread out on the floor of where the site is. Fnatic's start was actually doing both. They had 1 playing above inside a Hooker and 2 spread out towards kitchen and down towards the south towards office, for example. Now they've lost that top floor control, they find themselves only with this horizontal hold, which probably would have been the better call from the off. It's very tough to cover an entire map, especially against a team like Empire, but so far they're doing okay, having lost only 1. 2 minutes are down, but Empire are now starting to almost like just grab things a bit harder here, closing on towards the site. You can see the angles they're holding even now. So it's on Fnatic and their resilience here in winning these gunfights when the push inevitably does come in from Team Empire.
We've seen Empire play Coastline twice over the first half of the Pro League season. Back in week 2 against BDS, they got a good win, 7-3, but then suffered in week 7 against G2, where they took the loss there famously before coming towards SI. We've got a couple of kills as players come together. Magnet will hit Shepard, but Cider will get straight in and trade that out. Lusty, however, trades 1 straight back out again on to Cider, so that will now leave us 3 versus 3. However, some small amount of sight control is in the position of Empire, and they are in a position for Joystick to start getting that diffuser down. Dan will pick up Lusty as he tries to rotate back towards sight. Joystick will be taken out, but not before getting the diffuser down. This is now a retake situation. Virtue will try to hit them with the Nitro, but will be unsuccessful. Dan has managed to position himself outside of the pool door. He's just going to hold back now and try to wait for any sort of diffuse attempt. We've got Kajeka upstairs who will be taken down by Mentalist. That could be a big kill. Dan is now aware that somebody has moved past. He has to progress forward and do something about this. 1 and 2, and Dan will finish the first round for Empire there. Great watch from Dan. Did exactly what his team needed to do, and that's a big first round from him. I'm pretty sure that was a 3K on the round.
Naughty with that SMG as well. Beautiful stuff from Dan to close things out. That round probably a little too close for comfort for Team Empire, admittedly. Got to give some props to Fnatic, though. They made that vertical play work so well for them. Just unfortunately didn't quite catch Karzeka charging in from pool entrance, because as soon as they tried to push anyone from kitchen, knowing that he was actually at the back, it was Dan holding that rotation like he'd been doing from 30 seconds into that round, watching from Cool Vibes and completely cutting the rotate in towards site. Once the diffuser was down, Fnatic had no choice but to try and retake the upstairs, as there was very safe watch going on from there on towards where the diffuser was. It was all just very kind of, you do this and we'll do that in response. Now we have to do this and you have to do that. Very kind of orderly, which is a nice thing to see for Coastline, a map that is sometimes regarded as being pretty chaotic.
Actually, a 4K on the round for Dan there, so a great opening performance from him. We're getting a fantastic view of our lovely new UI for you there. So if you've joined us later in the day and you've not seen this before, we've got lots of information for you. We've got drones, whether they're active. The white circle is that they're active, grey circle, or sort of less white circle is that they are still in the pocket. It tells us whether they've been destroyed. We've got gadgets, we've got utilities, we've got reinforcements, we've got everything that we could ask for on there, and it really is a great interface for us to see exactly what's going on. And then it'll shrink away as the round progresses, and we don't want thank you medics. It just shrinks away and gives us just the essential information. So that's been a great change so far for Invitational.
So one thing we spoke about earlier on was kind of what a retake is, and we saw it a little bit going on in our earlier fixture, first one of the day between Na'Vi and SSG. I actually referred at the time to Coastline because this site is a fantastic example of it. Kitchen is service, most defenders will not play on the site itself. They'll either play off in the surrounding areas like Sunrise off towards the west, or play upstairs inside of something like Theatre and Penthouse and just aim to slow the attackers down. But even when they get this vertical control, the defenders still don't go back to playing on site. you almost want to bait the attackers to going in towards site, going for a plant, and then collapsing in on them from the runes surrounding it once that comes through. So if this setup is anything to go by, that should be exactly what we're going to see in this round, but we'll talk about that the more as this develops.
So we've got Dan now just working on an early repel there, just looking to get, it's once again all heading towards top floor control initially. Shots fired in towards him there, and that will show that there's somebody up top, but Magnet with a beautiful nitro toss outside of the window to take Dan right off the repel there, and that will be the sledge gone now. That is a big loss potentially for Empire. We still have Kojeka on the board, so it's not terrible. They do still have the option for some good vertical destruction there, but before they can start any vertical destruction, they need to clear Virtue out of theatre. There is no question of that. We know that Virtue is a stone cold gunner when given the chance, so if they push too hard onto him, Empire might find themselves losing men here.
Wow. They're even losing that gunfight there as well. Joystick swinging in, but Lusty managing to find the kill before Joystick could find anything. Cypher, though, is going to redeem his teammate there and get the kill back on towards Lusty not too long after. Now they've got this control of the top floor that they've been seeking. It's taken them 2 minutes to get it, and they are only into a 3 versus 3. That has been a massive success for Fnatic, and although you can see 2 playing inside a kitchen right now, what you do have is the Mozzie playing a bit further out. Magnet here as well. The Aussie, literally on the Aussie, it's almost telling itself a perfect tale. The Aussie on the Mozzie. Sounds beautiful.
I think that's going to stick.
It's definitely going to stick. If he plays it more often, it's going to be a thing. They've got this control, and they're trying to find out where the defenders are on site. Can't actually see anyone. Magnet is just waiting for them to try and go for a plant before diving right in. And for Empire, it's not been the super snappy start I think I expected to see from them right here. They are still having to figure out Fnatic a little bit and understand what it is they're actually doing.
I'd completely agree with you. I did expect to see more sort of early aggression coming in from Empire. It is something that we've seen over the first half of Pro League. As I mentioned, we've had Shepard literally running into sites and just gunning people. Kojeka getting the kill onto Tex vertically there, and that just shows how important this top floor control can be on coastline. Shepard moves in and he's going to look to get a plant down towards the default spot, and that is an essential kill from Cider, just preventing the challenge coming into Shepard there. So he does get that down, and he knows enough to stay prone. He wiggles his way out and wiggles a bullet towards Mentalist, takes him off the board, and that's round number 2 going to Empire. But Fnatic putting up a reasonable performance so far.
They absolutely did, and doing what we thought they would do, playing quite far back inside the kitchen, if not outside into the hallway, and of course have Mozzie playing inside of the lobby. Just gave Shepard that little angle there to slither in like a snake, find himself inside service entrance, get the plant down, and really no contest to come through from the other side. Karzeka being upstairs and holding that angle for them was also very key, because if anyone did try and push, he was there waiting, ready to protect Shepard. Again, a bit sketchy, should we say, from Empire, a bit slower than maybe we would come to expect and not as decisive, but at the end of the day, what matters the most is the score on the board, and 2-0 is that current score.
I think we've got to remember they got hurt upstairs. They lost 2 men in that top floor clearance, so they were essentially looking to approach site and perform the execute with only 3 on the board rather than 4 or 5. So that may well be, you know, part of what slowed them down, but what that is showing is that they're quite capable of winning rounds without the man advantage, and that's going to be important here because it is likely that they're going to take some early deaths. We know that the APAC teams, if nothing, they have great aim. Usually they're going up against some very strong areas of the world in that respect. Places like teams from Japan, we used to see it from Norengo as well. You know, absolutely killer aim on some of those players. So that's something that they're dealing with it week in, week out. So there are going to be deaths on the side of Team Empire, no question, and they need to be able to play around that.
It's where the strength comes in then from the strategy and all the rest of it that comes with it as well for Empire. Things that got them to the grand final last year. Now we're seeing ourselves return back, probably uncharacteristically, towards Sunrise and Blue Bar here. Normally if you move away from a site, you're not likely to return back there the round after next, but that's exactly what Fnatic have gone for. And what they have done is put the Goyo down between kitchen and service entrance. That's kind of going to give them an angle to play a bit of an extended hold and play 1 or 2 in towards kitchen. That's exactly what you're seeing. I wasn't quite expecting to see Lusty on the pulse playing this deep though. I think what they're hoping is that someone's going to push through in towards the penthouse and theatre above them, and he can find himself a cheeky early C4 kill.
I think this is playing into the hands of Team Empire at the minute because it's allowing them to, as we've said so many times, Team Empire excel when they can carry out the same actions in the same way and they just use the skill and they're better than you and they can keep to that structure. They are more than capable of varying if they need to, but that's when they start really getting aggressive and excelling. allowed to do at the minute. It's pretty much get in, get some top floor control, kill the roamers, and then move on to site. And the more that they're allowed to do that in the same way, the more difficult it will become. If we saw a top floor site, it's not really necessary then to have bottom floor roamers. You may have one that can be, you know, cleared out or waste some time, but ultimately not that necessary. So they could just maybe mix it up a little bit and prevent Empire getting into this rinse and repeat routine.
Well, you can see where most of the members of Empire are on the overview camera. They've got 2 to 3 players stacking up towards the northwest here outside of pool entrance, and then 2 pushing down the main hallway again to try and put some pressure, I think, on Cool Vibes and unseat Tex from the spot where Dan was playing earlier on. In a great spot though, Dan will unseat Tex, just like said. So now Dan goes, thank you very much. Cool Vibes is my spot if you don't remember from earlier on. I'll take it back once again. So they've now managed to cut off the rotates coming through for Kitchen. It should play out exactly the same as last time. You go for a plan from inside of pool entrance with that cover from Dan, and there is very little room to contest him.
That's it, Fnatic really need a plan to prevent that. Dan gets a second, and this is exactly what I was saying. Empire now being allowed into this zone, whereby they can get into the same positions, make the same challenges, and they are going to win those fights 9 times out of 10, let me tell you. So Magnet is the important operator here. In comes one nade. He still holds fast. He needs to hold this doorway. He cannot allow Empire to clear him out, because as soon as they do, the avenue opens up to get that diffuser down. Joystick will get the kill onto Lusty, and that now leaves us 5 versus 2. Things looking a little dicey for Fnatic here, to say the least. In comes a drone, in comes a challenge. Magnet gets one. Shepard trades it out with a kill onto Magnet, and that now leaves Mentalist in a 1 versus 4. 1 versus 3 as he takes Shepard off the board and gets the diffuser down. This could be a potential clutch for Mentalist here. He has the diffuser beneath his feet. He can keep himself safe behind the reinforcement. 10 seconds to go. Empire have to push here. He knows that. No way. Kill.
G2 でどうだったの？ G2 は船地区に負けた。
あ、そうなんだ。
船地区強っ。
船地区マジ強い。That is an unbelievable play from the APAC team.
船地区が勝つのいいね。
Cyborgs is what it says. What are they to a man? And Mentalist goes insane at the end of that round. Beautiful stuff, because you even saw from Empire one of them stopped to go on drones to drone the two. Knew exactly where Mentalist was, but he hit those first-time shots every single time and found those final 3 kills. It was like a hen protecting an egg she'd just laid. He was saying, no one's getting this diffuser, it's mine.
You're right, Des. I'm not even going to try to contest that one. The key to that whole clutch for me there were 2 things. One was great decision making from Mentalist. He
すごいな。
今日 TSM 対ニップの試合見てたけど。
ああ。どうだった？見たけど。
面白かった。
2試合目の2マップ目の途中で見るのやめたな。2マップ目の途中で、あ、これもうなんかいいやって。新しく入っちゃうから上面が強いよね。
ああ、もともとあれだよね。イービルジニアスに出てたよね。
イービルジニアスなの？
もともとイービルジニアスに出てた。がついのに別に緊張しとんのかなと思ってた。
何が？
前の演技の時さ、なんかめっちゃ顔いかついのに緊張してんのかなと。
ジオ？うん、
ジオ。
なんか入りたての時はあんま強くなかったのにな。
全ての敵を排除しろ。
イビルジニアスの時はあんま知らねえや。イビルジニアスはもうモディガのイメージしかない。モディガのイメージしかない。イビルジニアスはモディガのイメージしか知らん。
あ、無理だ。出た。モディがそのやつを出てきた。
モディガの虎のやつじゃん。
あいつ今指にじゃんやつ。
モディガー。
TSM も強かった。
残り3人だ。敵部隊排除。ミッション完了だ。
なんかもともと強いやつサポーターだからいいとしてやっぱなんかジオン入って安定するようになった。強いやつが一人増えた感じだわ。もともとなんかマークとかチームとか強いイメージ。
マークは強い。
最近はなんか普通にジオとビューロがエースな感じになってる気がする。かっこいい。やっぱ俺たちのエースだわ、ビューロは。ビューロ最近よくIQ のてかめちゃめちゃホロサイト使うよね。
テロリストを全員排除しろ。
だってビューでも43のあれですよ。70ぐらい。43の80、77とか。
あ、そうなんですね。だいぶ近いですね。
だいぶ近いんですよ。
配信の画面やったら何も映ってへんあいつの何も見えへんあいつフォローサイトよく分からんときいっぱい打ってるからさ。
チンコ。
あと3人だ。敵部隊を排除した。 テロリストを全員排除しろ。
やばいやばいやばい。
3人だ。敵部隊がミッション完了だ。
この機能ちょっとえぐいけど、まあ正直クソ便利だわ。
Recognised that he had 15 seconds left to live out that round and that the diffuser needed to be collected really. He knew that Empire were going to come for the kill, but he knew that they would likely want to get that diffuser in hand. So he sat himself in that tight corner behind that reinforcement, no chance for a wallbang or any cheap kill like that, and he forced them to come and get it and got the kill as that happened. But for me, the real key there was the beauty of that shot. I think it was Joystick who came through from Blue Bar and he just hit him with a flick shot that was brilliant, and it just opened up the clutch for him, and then he was able to finish one towards the bar.
マジ LINE 返せよな。用事があるときはマジ LINE 返せって感じ。切れそう。
テロリストを全員排除しろ。
ああ。森が。
しれ高速の
area. So great plays from him, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing that one on the highlight reel.
Absolutely, and again, one of those kind of things that you'll save forever and stick away in your portfolio for a rainy day. Got to give it though to Fnatic overall, and Magnet especially there in that round. You said yourself, he needed to hold fast and really shut down Empire from storming the way in. He wasted a lot of time there. They knew he was sat in that doorway watching Paul entrance, and even with Empire trying to send 3 people through, he still managed to find a single kill and waste effectively 2 minutes of that round. So just slowing Empire down is actually working pretty well for
取ら
him
れ
so
て
far.
ロゴダサ
And
い
in
よ
a way
ね
that played into Mentalist clutch because Magnet managed to
Sorry.
waste that much time. As
So-
I've said, it then
so
meant
like
that we
a-
were down to 10,
大
15
何
seconds when ultimately the push
Eh?
had to come along. So
So
yeah,
no-
it all
so no
played
生き物は何
into Mentalist's hands there,
あれ
but he
ね
made exactly the right
全然
choices.
意味わからん
And
よね
it was great from him. It's certainly one to
あ
look
の
back
生き
at
物
and
も
break down
あ
in
れ
terms
作る
of
の
that
めんどくさすぎて
decision-making
乗られんの
process.
なん
2-1
かチャー
in
ム
favour
が
of Team
NR に
Empire.
なった
Fnatic will be
やつ
happy to have got
お
themselves
もろい
one on the board again.
Empire
Sticking
も
with
する
those bottom floor
Eh?
sites, Virtue
Empire
playing
もする
himself
Empire
inside of
めんど
theatre
くさかっ
again.
た
He's
か
got
ら
himself a couple of Goyo shields there just
いい
to
に
try
なっちゃ
and
った
defend this 90 corridor area.
Then
We
that-
can
that's
see
not
one has
a
been
push.
detonated, but that slows things
NR
down for
でいいよ
10 seconds. He
乗
can't
られ
push.
NR でいいじゃん
Magnet with his second nitro kill of the
スコ
game.
ットリーヌー
This
ブみたい
time
でかっ
onto
こいいわ
joystick. Last time it was Dan taking off the rappel, but we can see Ash just lying cold on the ground there, and that will be 5-4 in favour of
赤青っ
Fnatic.
て
And
カラーリ
just
ング
as
を持
I
ってくれ
said,
てんだし
they were not going to be scared by Empire. They're quite happy to play from that underdog position, and they're really starting to make a game of this one.
It's like giving David in the David versus Goliath story a boulder rather than a small pebble to throw at someone,
Batch.
and they're doing it really well so far. Yes, they're down on that one round, but each round has come pretty close, to be fair. It's definitely not been the dominant affair that at the very least I, if not everyone else, expected coming into this fixture. Virtue's still hanging around here inside of theatre with a beautiful little spray into Scyther. Brings him down before he can do anything. Wasn't even looking for a fight. But Virtue says, I don't care. He needs to disappear. Knows one more's got off towards the right-hand side here, towards the double window. And they still need to be contesting this one right now. Going to find a spray coming through. It's going to be
That
yet
takes
another kill for
everything.
Virtue. Even in the interview, we saw them saying at the start, you've got to watch out for this man. And this is giving you more than enough reason. 3 kills so far in this round. And Dan has got the world to achieve if he wants to win this round.
I'm pretty sure the words I used were stone cold gunner for Virtue, and he's proving me right. Dan will take his life ultimately, but I tell you what, he'd have happily traded it for the 3 that he got from Empire. That now leaves us in a 1 versus 4, and Fnatic are aware of Dan's location. They know where he's going to be pushing from. Shots come in there. He will take out the default camp. A little bit previous on the shots from Fnatic, but it doesn't matter as Mentalist takes a jump out of the top floor window to flank Dan. Will clear things out, and that is 2-0 now. And I tell you what, this is going to be a game.
That was the one that they didn't have air jabs, unfortunately, or did, just not quite far enough out that it was really going to make an impact. Unfortunate, but it's another round over to Fnatic. Things at 2-2 so far. I always hate coming back to this conversation, but it's one of them ones where it's not particularly a defender-sided map, it's not particularly an attacker-sided map. It's pretty balanced. So ending things at 3-3, I think both sides would walk away relatively happy. Fnatic probably more so, again, given the gravity of how people play. You know, this is really an
エクスペリアって予約できへんのあれ発着地別で予約できませんエクスペリア
どっかある？
走ってる、マーシャル走ってる。
なんかある？
あ、キュー
ちょっと待って、やろうか。てか、帰ってこんのかな、他のおっさんは。
あ、キューコン来い。来い。キューコン来い。あ、キューコン。こっち来い。
とりあえず、あんなけでもいいか。
キューコン来いよ。キューコン来い、キューコン。あ、マーシャルなんか反応してる。来い来い来い来い来い。あ、来た来た来た。マーシャルが来ちゃった。マーシャルが走ってきたんですけど。うわーなった。うわうわうわうわ。おい、キューコン近い。キューコン近い。キューコン来い。キューコン来い。キューコン来い。おい、ちょっとキューコンマジこっち向いてちょっと頼むから。お前、おい、来い、キューコン。うわ、足速いあいつ。キューコン。あ、来た。来た。かわいい。え、なんか怒ってる？なんで？うわー、噛みつき。おもちゃ変更しようか。あ、おい、キューコン。これ。なんでこれ。キューコン。お、来た。おー、偉い。あー、ええな。ペット飼いたくなってくんねんけど、こんなん。次やっちゃいいで。はい。はい、キューコンちょっと取ってき。ほら。これ動きたいだろうか。うい。ほら、取ってこい。ほら、キューコン取ってこい。
け。
ズボーって言ってた。じゃあこれね。
さっきポルの。
先っぽおるのじゃねえわ。
少しの時間潜ってなかったら順位が
99位になってたやつね。今日の動画。
うん。
いや、今こんな感じですね。半分あ
昨日か一昨日ぐらいのリートバスバリおもろかったな。負け
あれでしょ
るやつ。
TOD やろうとして負けたやつや。
そう。バカすぎ。普通に殴りに行ける。命中不安でTOD 狙って負ける。韓国 LCC 航空券。はあ、LCC 使いたくなかったけどな。往復で出発地関西行き先。いいえ3月。いいえインチョンで
マ
ッチングアプリってなんか使ったことあります？
タフなハートがしびれる心地よい愛の印。何でしょう。どこでいいや。
本当は東京が良かったんだけどな。
何が？
旅行行くのにさ。
うん、どこになったの？
いや、関西発になりそう。
誰も動いてない。
え？あ、危ない
誰も
危ない。
動いてない。
じゃあ俺スモークじゃん。誰も動かない。
誰が動かん証拠や。
おい、誰も動いてねえなこれ。早く上に。やばい。やべえ。
さっき上閉めんだ。
誰も動きしないから。
残り5秒。
コロです。全然使わないこのキャラ。
爆弾の位置はバレていない。
したよあいつ。
デバイスをセットした。デバイスを使う。
もうダメじゃない？
敵部隊が爆弾を発見。どうすべきか分かってるな。
いや、勝てー。何やなかったさ。人間じゃねえ、あれは。
裏めっちゃ
裏いる。あ、いた。なんで今キッチンまで。キッチンまでテレビ行った。
気をつけろ。敵部隊が爆弾を見つけた。
後ろに多分バリケ外いると思う。
マガジンを変える。
分かったわ。
ミッション失敗。味方が
終
やられた。
わってんだよな正直。なんかめっちゃいるんだけど。すぐ入るわ。終わったわ。ちょっと練習しとこう SMG11 の。ちょうどいいわ。これでいいや。
爆弾を守れ。アーマープレートね。
肩起きやがったら。
敵部隊が爆弾を発見。守れ。
あれは補強済みだ。マガジンを変える。
有刺鉄線だ。ここは残り10秒。敵部隊が爆弾を発見。敵に備えろ。
すごい締める
無限に縦
な。
を
すごい自分。
無限に縦を
で防御する。
ん？
や入ってる。気合入りすぎ。そんなに戦う用の人間じゃないからさ。何ポイント入っちゃダメ？遊撃出てよ、あの硬くて英国持ってる人たち。
いてー。いてー。
このエリアに敵に見つかるぞ。
つまんな。なんだよ、土切って降りてんじゃねえよ、マジゴミ。
守れ。
痛い痛い痛い痛い痛いです。あー痛い。
味方のオペレーターは残り1人だ。
怖い。
ミッション失敗。味方が制圧された。
カス。
ん？
ゲームするカス。気持ち悪いからドクタールークであんなに固まってこもんないな。いっちゃん気持ち悪いなる間は。
何作ろうかな。
適当にリスキルでもしとこう。
何使おう。バンバンバンバンバンバンバンバン。へいへいへい。
バンバラバンディット。
うん。
爆弾を守れ。
うんだる。
あ、ででんでんでででんでんでででん。
敵部隊が爆弾を発見。守るんだ。リロードする。爆弾が敵部隊に発見された。
誰もポイントにね。びっくりしちゃう。ほら。
え、無傷嘘でしょ。ちゃん嘘でしょ。
新春シャンソンショー。
リロードする。
上が
気をつけろ。敵部隊が爆弾を見つけた。
残り40秒。
スター選択もしとかな。誰なんかこいつやたら強いんやけどきっと。
あと15秒。
やばい。
ロビーワン。
残り5秒。味方のオペレーターは残り1人だ。
味方おんのこれ。諦めた。
敵部隊がディフューザーを設置。破壊しろ。
なんでなー。
味方が排除された。ミッション失敗。
てってってああ、これ使おうかな。
珍しいね。
うん。普段あんま使わへんの使おうかなってことで、そういうキャンペーンってことで。ニンニク剥いたからめっちゃ手臭い。最高。中国産のものってさ、
うん。
臭いもの多いけどさ、
うん。
ニンニクだけは臭くないっていうさ、なんでやろうなあれ。ニンニクにかけて臭い方がいいのにな。そういうものにかけて臭くないのに。切れそうになる。
ドローンを使って爆弾を探せ。
みんな大好きキッチンカット。フロストマット置いてんぞ。
突入まで10秒。5秒。今回の目的は爆弾の発見と解除だ。
キッチンこれ。
キッチンキッチン。
はーい。
PK して
爆弾が見つかった。
あ、変態やん。
もう弾切れだ。
ドローンが出てるぞ。ディフューザーを落とした。爆弾を見つけた。
シャワーって言ったのよ。
ドローンを起動中。ディフューザーを確保した。マグチェンジだ。
解除しなさい。コンカッションを使う。
マジね。上 手が空いていく。
さて消灯だ。
何度も贅沢にここにテレミットチャージ貼っていく。
特殊爆薬だ。離れてろ。影をドローンがしてる。
ちょっと初前にワンおるわ。
階だと。
敵の位置を特定。2階だ。
うまっうまーうまー。
電子機器を潰す。
頑張って。
あと15秒。ディフューザーを使った。ディフューザーを取り戻した。敵は残り1人。ディフューザーを取り戻せ。味方オペレーターは
マジ。
時間切れだ。
惜しい。
人来るまでオーバーウォッチしてるわ。
ん？
人来るまでオーバーウォッチするわ。
おい。
でもさっきオーバーウォッチもさ、
うん。
なんか知らんけどフリーズして
うん。
落ちたから多分また推薦レベル下げられたんだよな。切れそうなんだけど、毎度毎度フリーズすんだけどこのゲーム、この設定が勝手に最高になるバグ直してほしいんだけど早く。マジ切れそう。
うんちげえやん。
うんちゲー、ほんまにランク上にそれなったのが一番切れた。それで推薦レベル下げられたし、ちゃんと復帰してんの。
キャリーしてたの
うんちゲー今日も切れたし、なんだ今日切れたの。もはや今日切れた理由が一切分からへん。推薦レベル下がってなかった。クソゲーが。オーバーウォッチもオーバーウォッチでおもんないしな。
ペースゲーミング対ダークゼロ。
人いなかったらいなかったら俺明日朝早死んでるだけだ。
あ、今日もあれかし、意味か。
今日も試合あんの？
ん？
今日も試合あんの？今日準決ぐらいじゃないのもう。
うん。同じく、対 TSM、
うん。
SSG とダークゼロ、ニップ G2、
ああ、それでもあれでしょ。
MIBR、
ローは、なんたらって
ルーザーズだね。
ね。ルーザーズはもうそんな興味ないな。ただ試合するだけでしょ。惰性で試合するだけでしょ。
でもあれでしょ、決勝に出れるんじゃないの？
ああ、そうなの？ルーザーズで勝ったら
ウィナーズとルーザーズが最後決勝で勝ち
え？
でも、ウィナーズの方何個かアドバンテージ
アドバンテージある。
うん。
ビッグバンとかで反射が。やばい、オーバーウォッチにハイエナいる。ハイエナ。
ね、ハイエナって。
どっかのチームに、イービルシニアスかどっかにハイエナってプレイヤーがおるはず。
めっちゃ強いよ。
でもハイエナがいるわ。綴り違うから多分別人だわ。
信念を守るべき。
ねえマクリン今何時？ そうだな。世界のどこかでは決闘の時間、真昼だ。
しょうもな。
これで治療しろ。
アホ。さあお前の武器なし。切れてしかない最高。
ラウンドは目標を確保し
向いてへん。
帰ってきたらじゃあやるか。俺も一回
すぐ治る。治療科の目標がアップ痛み姿を次の時間だ。私が見守っている。全ては我が意志のまま。
ある直撃した。しょってこいよ、カスマグリマジャンクラをよ。
睡魔に飲まれる。これで解消しろ。
あ、やばい。
治療は任せる。私が見守っている。いいよ。強化完了。力を見せてやれ。戦いはまだこれからだ。援護に回る。一斉攻撃開始のもとに。治療は任せる。援護する。これで持ちこたえろ。戦いはまだこれからだ。これで回復しろ。強化完了。力を見せてやれ。
やるやんけ。
1対0。私の経験を信じろ。協力すれば必ず任務を完遂できるはず。私の後ろへ。5、4、3、2、
敵の IT で回したらね。
ラウンド2。目標を確保してください。目標がアクティブになりました。 他のものも続け。ソナタ開始する。ダブルエリアを制圧。バリアの後ろへ。戦いはまだこれからだ。バリア展開。痛みがそなたを襲う。バリアから出ないと思います。大した怪我じゃない。バリアの後ろへ。
じっとしてろ。
バリアの後ろにソナタを癒し。エリアを制圧。強化完了。ワレッジ発射。
頼んだ。
一斉攻撃なしだ。隠居生活に比べたらまさに生き返る気分だ。どうもどうも。
Empire win. We both said it at the very start. They'll be happy with the half-half, with 3-3, sorry, at the half.
We've seen the stats before. Coastline was one of the most balanced maps. If anything, we've seen it take a bit of a shift in terms of attacker. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. When we say that places are attacker favoured, defender favoured, quite often when you look at those statistics, you may be looking at 55% to 45, you know, 60-40 at a push. And that's not really that significant in terms of statistics. It's still... reasonably even, and I think that's definitely the sort of region that we're in with Coastline there. You know, yes, there might be a slight attacker favour, but on any given day, this map can play out in very different ways. And as you say, Fnatic can come away from this 3 apiece before getting onto the attack. I think they're going to be pretty happy with that. I'm not sure about Empire. I think they'd have probably taken it as well. I think Empire are going to be reasonably confident on their defence of Coastline.
Now things move upstairs into Hooker and Billiards. So this is the more common, shall we say, site out that you will see on Coastline. It's kind of the default that most games will start off on unless a team is trying to use the first round advantage to try and surprise the opposition by taking them to a less common site. So expect to see quite a bit of a aggressive assault from the outside. It's very common. You'll see a couple of members stacking up on the northwest balcony. You'll see one going on the double window that looks in towards Billiards. You'll see some trying to threaten in from towards Aqua. Right now, a lot of the attention is actually on the east side of the map. So Empire going for a full clear of the map here to make sure there isn't going to be an annoying magnet lurking around somewhere to catch them off guard later on.
2 Nitros will do that for you.
It will.
That's exactly what Magnet has had so far, 2 kills on those. But Empire know that Fnatic are playing pretty freely around the map. They've had it, they've experienced it, they've lost men to it in almost every round so far, so it's no surprise to see them looking to push across the entire map.
ハリウッドへようこそ。間もなく突入します。ヒーローを選択してください。 信念を守るで戦い続ける。これで回復し、皆互いに気を配って行動しよう。背中は私が守る。突入まであと30秒。
訓練を思い出せ。イメージして。
計算に間違いがないか今一度確かめるべきだろう。
はい、しよう。開始する。私が見守っている。普通の波に飲まれろ。行け。回復は任せろ。そなたは痛みに強い。
その信頼何も取られへんやろ絶対。
これで回復しろ。
さっこ
戦いはまだこれからだ。痛みがそなたを襲う。そなたを癒す。
見よこのバリアが不安、バリアが破壊された。
これで持ちこたえろ。地上は任せる。疲れが顔に出ているぞ。英雄は死なず浄化完了。戦いはまだこれからだ。使用開始する。引退生活にはもう戻らない。大した怪我じゃない。はい、強化。開始する。
この戦慄は
睡魔に飲まれる。私が見守っている。この老兵はまだ死なん。戦いはまだこれからだ。もう寝ていろ。英雄は死なず。痛みがそなたを襲う。残り60人。回復は任せろ。痛み。目標を制圧中。治療は任せる。 見せてやれ。
タクティカルバイザー取
残り時間はわずかだ。
得死ね
私にはまだ守らなければならない者たちだ。オーバーファイト。ロブ、なんとかしろ。戦いは終わっていない。全ては終わったよ。私が見守っている。いいよ。プレイオブザデー。
タクティカルバイザー
正義の網に裁かれる。
And just clear those roamers out and not allow them to have such a big impact on the round. We can see Dan now pushing in, but we're already a minute down, and there's obviously been a lot of information gathering going on so far, but Team Empire now need to put that information to the best use that they can, and they need to start thinking about speeding things up. We haven't had any kills yet, we haven't had any pressure put onto site. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something that they need to be aware of, is the clock.
That it can be a pretty big part of it. And I believe this is the first round that we've seen Mentalist knocked on Goyo. I think every other round he's played it so far. So well, despite things going pretty well for Fnatic in the last two rounds, clearly deciding that for this side at the very least he's not something they want. Most teams will actually bring Goyo here and drop down the shields for between the pool table and the bomb, for example. One looking in towards Aqua and then one normally outside on 90 or something like that, maybe inside a hooker itself. But clearly for these guys, that is not part of the plan. One thing that is definitely part of the plan is the Mozzie. They have brought this every single time.
Goyo, great operator. You know, why would you not want to bring him? I'm not criticising the fact that they haven't, but yeah, he's extremely useful. Great gun, very useful gadget. You know, we've seen him, he's got so many different uses as Goyo, and he's only been in competitive Siege for a short time, but he's already being really well utilised. Virtue with the opening kill onto Karjeka, that keeps us even, I think, in the entry stakes or thereabouts. It might actually just put Fnatic up by one. I think they are 3 and 2 at the minute of picking up those first kills. So that's Karjeka off the board, and that will be the book utility lost, which can be important. It's not essential on this site, but if you can get control of Sunrise, you can certainly do some work from the underneath to try and move around those defenders, push them into the lines of sight of your waiting attackers. We can see the nade there just being taken out by an ADS. Dan unable to make that challenge, pushes on into sight, Tech steps out and gets the kill. Mentalist onto Shepard, and that now leaves us in a 4 versus 2. Joystick 1 onto Magnet there, but this is all to do for Empire. 4 seconds left, and it's unlikely they're going to get any joy here. Joystick gets 1 kill, it's impactless, and that will be the round for Fnatic.